Now, in my experience, there's only 3 things you need to master the handstand: strength, mobility, and balance. Now, once you've mastered all 3 of these, you're guaranteed to handstand. This is my guide. So in this guide, I'll go through each one of the 3 steps and explain to you exactly what you need to do to master each ability. Mobility. Let's start with mobility. 2 things we need to do: open up your shoulders and stretch your wrists. Let's start with the first. Get a band or a towel that's long enough and hold on to both sides. Do these circles, focusing on stretching your upper pec and opening your shoulders. I'm gonna call this exercise banded circles because I don't actually know what it's called. Chest to wall handstand is also a great way to open your shoulders, but it's a little bit more advanced. Don't go like this, but actually try to go really close to the wall and really open your shoulders. It's a good stretch. Next is stretching our wrists, and coming from somebody who's done calisthenics for a while, definitely stretch your wrists before every single workout. You do not want to get them injured. Here's how. Alright, to stretch your wrists, you need to do 4 different exercises: 2 wrist flexion and 2 wrist extensions. So basically you keep your arms straight and you pulse back and forward. Don't stay in the motion in the stretch too long, just go back and forth, and this should be able to stretch your wrists properly for the handstand. If you're finding this useful so far, a like and a subscribe would be well appreciated. Thanks. On to strength. Strength is simple. We need to work on 3 things: our scapula strength, our straight arm strength, and our core strength. These scapula shrugs are great to strengthen your scapula. First, get into a push-up position and pull your lats out, basically activating your scapula. To increase your straight arm strength, we can do shoulder taps. These are quite self-explanatory, but basically tap your shoulder. Keep your scapula protracted and depressed. If these are too easy, do them in the pike position. Or to make them even harder, do them against the wall in the handstand position. The second exercise that's great to increase straight arm strength is wall walks. Start in a push-up position or a little bit higher with your feet on the wall and basically walk up. Make sure to keep your arms straight during the whole exercise. Then walk back and repeat the exercise. To strengthen your core, we're just going to do hollow body holds. This is also a great exercise because it mimics the handstand, but we're lying down. And we're on to the fun one, balance. Bear with me, this one might be a little bit longer, but it's worth it. For balance, I've basically created a ladder from the easiest exercise to the hardest. Now, once you complete an exercise, you can move on to the next one. The first exercise is the frog stand. If you can't frog stand, I've got a video linked top right corner showing you exactly how to frog stand. Next is the back to wall handstand. Kick up to the wall, making sure that your hands are placed not too close to the wall. It doesn't have to look pretty, it can look exactly like this. We just want you to get used to holding your weight on your hands. Once you can hold this exercise for 30 seconds, move on to the next progression. Next, we've got chest to wall handstand holds. Essentially, with this one, we're going to be able to get our form correct. Walk up towards the handstand and then hold it like you would with the back to wall, but just chest to wall. This creates straight alignment in your handstand. Try to get your hands quite close to the wall. If you're just starting out, that's fine to have your hands a little bit further away, but as you progress, get them closer to the wall. At this point, it's important to discuss bailing, which is essentially falling in a controlled way. To bail properly, once you're falling, turn your hips 90 degrees and turn your hands. That way, you'll be able to fall on the one side instead of falling straight forward. The next exercise is flutter kicks. Place your hands a little bit further away from the wall and kick up so that one leg is touching the wall. Then alternate the legs, balancing in between while both legs are in the air. Your objective is to make that duration of balance longer every time. This is a great exercise just to get started with balance. Once you can do 10 clean reps of flutter kicks, move on to the next exercise. The next exercise is a wall to freestanding slide. Essentially, you start chest to wall and then you position yourself like this, keeping your core activated and your shoulders open. Make sure to have your hands positioned a little bit further away from the wall and then slide with your feet down until you can lift off from the wall, like so. Once you lift off from the wall, try and balance that for a while. Either bail forward or bail backwards once you fall. This is what a good attempt looks like. Essentially, with this exercise, we're trying to teach you not to do a banana handstand, and the easiest way to do that is to contract your core. Finally, at the second to last exercise. This exercise is called the wall assisted kick up. Basically, place your hands a little bit further away from the wall. Then kick up in a split position, where one leg touches the wall and then immediately push back and try and go into a full handstand. This should help you to learn to find the sticking point during the kick up of the handstand. The sticking point is the balance point, essentially the point where you're most balanced. And finally, the last progression, the handstand. So once you've gotten to this point, you've done a lot of balancing, but you've not gotten off of the wall yet. This is intentional because a lot of beginners start too quickly off of the wall. You need to be doing handstand on the wall very, very often. I even still work out with the wall sometimes. But now that you're at this point, I will show you exactly how to handstand. So you kick up like you did with the previous progression in a split. And once you've got that balance point, you put your legs together and you got your handstand. This will take a little bit of practice, but I trust once you've done all of those previous progressions, you'll get it really, really quickly. These are the handstand cues that I use to hold a perfect form handstand, or as perfect as I can get it just yet. Toes pointed up, contracting your core, opening your shoulders, and looking down with your head. Those are the 4 things that I recommend. Again, there are 2 ways of bailing in the freestanding handstand: bailing forward and bailing backwards. Bailing backwards is no problem because you just fall right down on your feet, but when you bail forward, always remember to turn your body and lift up the hand that you're turning your body towards, and there you go, you land safely. The last handstand tip I can give you: when you're putting your hands on the ground, don't flatten your fingers. Keep them scrunched a little bit. That will help you push more and generate more power with your fingers to make the balance easier. If you do want a community where I help people learn handstand and other calisthenic skills in general, I've created this thing called Strength Club. It's absolutely free, and it's a community of people who work on calisthenics together. If you want to join, it's free, link in the description, and join if you want to. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.